Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. I'm your host, Cooley. Tonight is debate night. Another amazing episode. Let's get right into the intro. Actually, Gabby, off. You done. And you want to leave too? This is how our relationship goes. God over man, man over woman, woman over children. All right, welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. We are back. So we had a debate night on Sunday. Went pretty good. I was streaming for like 4 hours, man. Had a lot of people came on and had some good conversations. Tonight, it all depends. I don't know how many hours I'm going to stream for, but if we get a lot of, people that come on that really want to debate, man, I'm prepared to rock out with y'all for as many hours as possible. We got a few links in the description. The first link is going to be to join debate night. So if you are a hater, if you are a person with a different perspective or different opinions, or you watch my content and you have some points of contention with the things that I say or my worldview and just in general, go ahead and click that first link and I'll go ahead and bring you on up and you can join debate night and we could talk about anything you want to speak about. The next link is going to be for the membership. If you like this podcast, you want to continue to watch it and to support it, join the membership. I encourage everyone to join the membership. We got 3 tiers. First tier Hitman. First tier Gang. Second tier Hitman. Third tier is Mob Ties. You join any of those tiers, you locked in with us. You get to communicate with us at any time via Instagram, social media, and stuff like that. The next link is going to be for one-on-one coaching. I coach men on masculinity. I do dating and relationship coaching for men and women and couples coaching as well. And I also coach on media and marketing. My platform grew pretty good, pretty big and good. And it's not even been 2 years yet. So, yeah, we have the next link in there for the merch. Man, if you like this merch is dropping soon. It's not dropping yet. We got a few little things we got to do to it. Y'all see the NF, right? So this is going to be dropping around Christmas time for y'all. But we do have the God over man, man over woman, woman over children t-shirts. So if you like that merch, you can cop a shirt. Or the famous glasses that I always wear in all of my videos that go viral, and most of them. Those are called Mr. Man. That's my brand. You can go ahead and purchase them glasses if you want. The next link is going to be for the Discord. Get in the Discord, man. I'm trying to get people to communicate more in the Discord to really get things going and to give, your perspectives and give some input on how you would like the show to be run. Because usually people in the Discord, if you're out in there chatting, you're like one of the main supporters. So hop in the Discord. That's free. And you can chat amongst one another and come up with some topics or even conversations on how you would like the debate shows to go and even the shows with the girls. So definitely join that. Currently, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Well, we'll stay live on Facebook for, I don't know, whenever some people coming in the conversations is getting pretty crazy. I mean, that's how long we'll stay live for. But until we start getting some people in here, I see some people coming on up in here, so that's good. I'm going to wait till we get a few more people up in here because it's not a lot. I think we only got like 3 or 4 people up here right now. Right in the chat, too, we do have a private chat. Let me know if you're here to debate and stuff like that, because I kind of want to get the people that want to debate up first. But anyways, while we're waiting for more people to join, we're going to bring these people up that's in here right now too. But while we're waiting for more people to join, let's go ahead and react to some content. I did pull up some content because y'all do be sending me stuff, man. It'd be funny. Y'all be like, yo, Cooley, what's your perspective on this? React to this. I was like, this is not a reaction channel, but I mean, I guess I can give y'all my takes on some stuff, right? It's only fair since I'm live streaming and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and pull up this one tab real quick, and we'll react to something that someone sent me, one of the supporters. Let's see. All right, yeah, I'm sharing my screen right now. Okay, y'all see that? All right, cool. Let me go ahead and find this clip over here.
I matched with a doctor on a dating app, and I was just like, I said, what do you do? He's like, and he was just like, I was like, okay, so what's your goals? He was just like, oh no, I kind of blocked you because like, what do you mean? What's my goals? Is a doctor not enough? I don't want somebody who's content with where they are. A doctor is being a doctor is amazing. I understand what you guys go through to get there, but why can't you want more? I guess me having 3 jobs shows you that I'm never comfortable with being in one place.
Not being he need to run for the president. He's already a surgeon, and that ain't enough for you.
It's not a money thing more, so I guess it's an ambition thing. Like,
all right, chat. So this is a woman's hypergamous nature on steroids. So she literally just said a doctor isn't enough. She matched with a doctor on a dating app, and he wasn't enough. This is crazy. This is woman's hypergamous nature on steroids. Not only that, she's delusional. So 2 things. 1, hypergamous nature on steroids. 2, she's just delusional. That's what I would say. And, this comes from, so what's the hypergamous nature of women? That's going to be, the natural proclivity to want a man that's above your level on all regards, usually. Preferably above your level, but if not, then at least bare minimum on your level as well. So equal to you or above, but preferably above. And then you have the other side of things. So that's just a woman indulging into her hypergamous nature, which is natural. The other thing is, so that's nature. The other thing is nurture. I mean, a lot of these modern day women have been nurtured into living in delusion land. I thinking that a man is going to do everything. Literally, she's living in a Disney fairy tale that thinks that she deserved, that a doctor, a surgeon at that, let's play it back. Did she say surgeon? Let's see. Hold up. She did say surgeon.
Not a money thing more, so I guess it's an ambition thing.
And that was real stupid, too.
Like,
she said it's not a money thing, it's an ambition thing. What? Hey, yo, chat. This is crazy. All right. We got some people coming up in here. I'm gonna bring some people up. Let's bring up this first guy we have on here. His camera's on. Hey, man. Oi Alamino, I think, bro. I don't know how to say your last name. But get up, man. You laying on the bed. All right, I'll bring you on up. Hopefully you got some smoke. Who knows? All right, let's go ahead and close this out. Stop sharing. Hey, man. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name and where you from.
Troy Emil.
Say that again?
Troy,
what's up? Talk to me, man. Where you from?
from Texas.
From Texas. All right. You here to debate?
Well, I'm just here to, watch you. I've been watching you for 3 years,
Okay, you just here to support. All right, man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go, and so we can bring up some people in here that want to debate. Appreciate the support, though, man. All right, homie. I seen a Dragon Ball Z poster in the back. He's supporting DBZ. All right, we got let's see here. Marcus, welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Where you from?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you good, man.
Okay, I'm from Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. What you here to debate about tonight?
I kind of wanted to have a theological debate.
Okay.
Is that okay?
What's up? Sure. I mean, you get so many of these, but sure.
Yeah. Too many of them?
What's up? Talk to me.
I was watching a clip with Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh, and they were talking about a Joe Rogan podcast where he had someone coming on talking about the existence of aliens, and they sort of because they were all religious, Ben's Jewish and Matt's Christian, they sort of laughed it off like it was impossible for the Bible to be true and also aliens to exist. But from what I understand about theology, I don't understand what the difference between an angel and an extraterrestrial would be if angels weren't made on Earth. Is that too fringe a question, or do you have like an opinion on that?
There's many differences. Some people can think of aliens just as a being that is on another planet. That's how we view aliens. So it's not on Earth, but it's on another planet, and it's of physical form. It's not any of divinity form, right? So it's not divine. It's more of, an alien, something flesh, not on another planet. It's a life, right?
But angels are flesh, right?
Angels can, I believe they've turned into flesh form, but they are divine.
Yeah, but I don't think it's mutually exclusive that something can be divine and flesh. Like we have stories of someone wrestling with an angel in the Bible. We have in the book of Genesis and the book of Enoch, angels coming down and taking wives. So they obviously had a body to take a wife with. And we also have the story of David and Goliath. The giants in the land were supposedly the descendants of angels, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you have to distinguish some things. You have to find the differences in things. So I would say that angels. You asked the question. Well, you're saying that. Well, I don't really know if there's a difference from angels and aliens. Right?
Yeah.
You then said angels have to take a physical form.
They don't have to, but they can, obviously.
That's what I stated. They can, right?
Yeah.
But still they can. But not only that, when you look at it, angels come from the source of God. So they come from heaven. So it's divine. It's divinity coming to a physical form, right? So something that's spiritual, then being made physical. When we look at aliens, I'm just trying to differentiate the two for you. So when we look at aliens and how we, perceive of it, is aliens is on another planet and it's physical life on another planet. That's what I mean. So there is a difference there from how most people conceptualize it. What'd you say?
Do you think heaven is a planet? Do you think heaven's like a literal place?
I mean, these are for sure, but I don't believe it's a place where the physical man can get to.
Oh, so you don't think someone could go to heaven without dying?
No, man, we can't even. I mean, did man really make it to the moon? I don't know. Possibly. Who knows?
Oh, you don't believe in the moon landing? Oh.
I'm not saying that I don't believe in it or I do believe in it, but it's up for debate. That's what I'm saying, right? So there's a lot of things that we don't know, like we haven't fully discovered yet. You know what I mean?
I get that. But I think in terms of theology, there's also a story of someone being taken up to heaven without dying.
Okay, you said as far as theology, there's also someone being taken up to heaven without dying?
Yeah, so they still had a physical form and they went to heaven.
We could even speak on, Jesus. Like, he died and then came back to life, but his body, ascended into heaven. That could be
so
one
it has
of
to be
them.
a physical place, right?
What I'm saying is, in regards to heaven, that still has to be, God has to grant that, right? So if we're trying to look at the differences between things, aliens, God doesn't have to grant, right? Aliens, if there are aliens, if there is life on other planets, we could discover these things ourselves, right? When it comes to God and angels, we can't discover these things by ourselves. We have to. It has to be a door that opens up, meaning that God has to grant it. You get what I'm saying? So that's the difference there too. So God has to grant us, we're not seeing God, we're not seeing angels unless God grants it to be, right? Aliens on other planets, God doesn't, if there is aliens on other planets, God doesn't have to grant that to be. That's something that we can discover.
I don't know if that's true, because it seems like angels have agency. So it seems like an angel can choose to defy God if it wants to, just like they did in the beginning when like a third of them decided to go against him. And then in the book of Genesis and the book of, I don't know if you believe in the book of Enoch because it was taken out of the Bible, but another group of angels decided not to listen again, and they did what they wanted. So if angels can leave heaven.
I get what you're saying. Then my question for you is, if God doesn't have to grant access to human beings being able to see or be in heaven or see angels and be around angels, if God doesn't have to grant this, why haven't we discovered it on our own?
If it's a choice for the angel to make.
No.
Like,
I don't well, you're saying that it's a choice for angels to make. No, because there was fallen angels and stuff. God made them fall. Like angels and everything in heaven, I don't think they fully have. That's up for debate.
They don't have choice?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that they have free will too, but because that's why there were fallen angels. But I would say that God still has to allow those things to happen. That's just not going to happen on its own. Angels can't just come by themselves unless God allows it to happen. God has to grant access to these things. That's what I'm saying.
Grant access for them to do what they want, or
no? Grant access for them to do what they want on Earth.
Oh, because I didn't think that was like. How could a third of them decide not to listen to him then, if it was about him allowing them?
God let it be. God allow it. You think if God didn't allow it, you think that angels could just escape from heaven and come to earth? No. God is almighty and all powerful. You think that the angels is more powerful than God? They can disobey God, but God can still say, okay, you are disobeying. I could vanish you to hell right now. Or you're disobeying. You want to go to earth? Okay, well, let me see if, there's going to be a benefit to that or not a benefit to that. However God looks at it, God still has to grant that, or it won't happen. That's what I'm saying. Just like for human beings, man, it's the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's the comparison I was about to make, because, like, I don't ever think of God as not being more powerful than me, but I can do what I want on the earth. Like, I could do something that's not good. Like, I could go out and sin against a person, like commit murder or something like that, and God would stop me from doing it. So I don't understand why an angel wouldn't be able to do the same thing if they can betray God.
You're missing what the point that I'm saying. It's not about God wouldn't stop you from doing it. He can if he wants to, right?
Yeah, but he wouldn't, right?
Well, he can if he wants to. God stopped many things, and God did many things. So that's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that if we're looking at aliens and angels, because that was your question, right? So if we're looking at aliens and this is all hypothetically, no one really knows. We're just thinking out loud about these things, these things. So how I look at it is like, in order for us to be in heaven, that's not a discovery that we can make, right? That the only way we could be in heaven, the only way that we can see angels and even conceptualize this other realm, right? God would have to grant that. God would have to say, Okay, it's so. You could do
How do you know
this.
that? Like, where are you getting that from? Because I feel like those are all assertions. I don't know if that's
It
true.
is assertions, but yours is assertions too because you think that it's not.
Well, mine is kind of like a theory, but maybe you could call it an assertion. Because I'm
It is an
thinking of
assertion.
heaven as like a literal place, so maybe it's just another planet somewhere. Like, how would I know? Why do we think it's another realm? Like, where do we get that from?
I mean, that's just how most people conceive of it, I would say. Where do we get it from? We're thinking, I think that people are trying to think as big as they can, right? So if they're trying to think as big as they can, they're going to think like, well, God isn't in this galaxy. He's not in any of these galaxies. God isn't bound by time, space, or matter. So wherever God is, it's not anywhere where we can see with a telescope or see with any type of technology that we make, right? You know a good TV series you should watch is called His Dark Materials.
Yeah, I watched that one.
You watched that one, yeah?
Yeah,
So
on HBO.
on HBO, His Dark Materials is a good show that kind of it speaks about a lot of these things. But even with that, like if you watch on His Dark Materials, you see that they never even got what was his name? The main character, the guy.
I forgot the scientist guy that had the daughter.
The scientist guy that had the daughter. He was like one of the smartest people, and he only got to who was it? Enoch. He only got to Enoch. So like he thought that he was getting to God,
The
like
God, but it wasn't. It was
but
just
it
an
wasn't
angel.
even close. It was just Enoch, and Enoch was doing some things and had some angels with him and stuff like that. But God was beyond even where Enoch was. You get what I'm saying? So even in that, and that was a pretty good TV series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was
But
pretty
they
good.
had access to like different realms. So even then it was like a realm was like another planet. Like they could cut through the space and then go through.
They did. Yeah, they did, man. They did. But yo, good conversation, man. I don't want to hold up my chat too much with these type of discussions. I mean, it's cool. I like to have them, but we got to get some people in here that want to debate, politics, dating and relationships, stuff like that. Okay, man?
All right. Thanks, Cooley.
All right, man. Marcus, have a good one, bro.
All right. You too.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, that wasn't a debate. That was a discussion on, our opinions, because no one knows. All right, let's bring up, we got Billy. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Billy, my man over here eating. Where you from?
Atlanta, baby.
Atlanta. Okay, talk to me. You here to debate?
Atlanta. Hey, so I discovered you a couple of weeks ago. You're real
Yeah.
cool and all other stuff. So when we debate, can I just bring up anything that I just kind of want to get off my chest is regarding the debate? But I didn't know what the format is.
Yeah, the format is it could be any content that you see in mine that you disagree with, or anything that I'm conservative and stuff like that. So my worldview, if you want to debate and you have different opinions on maybe things that you've seen, videos that you watch, we can get into that. Or you can state some of your own opinions on topics, and then I could see if there's any if my perspectives are different, and maybe we can have a debate on that.
All right. Well, I think probably some of my stuff probably aligns with yours. One of the problems that I'm having right now that I don't understand is I don't understand the black community and why everybody's deciding to vote for this lady just because they think she's black and all this other type of stuff. And, oh, she's a woman and all that other type of stuff. I am part of the LGBTQ community, all that other type of stuff. And I can clearly see that voting for Donald Trump is something that's needed right now. And one of the issues that I try to debate with my friends and family, and they cuss me out and all this other stuff because they talking about you don't know what the hell you're talking about, is number one, the borders. We already know what's going on with that, and that needs to be sealed. And then number two, like I said, I'm part of the gay community, but when you're bringing drag queens into schools and reading, I don't want my nieces and nephews seeing that. And most people will call me a hypocrite, but I'm like, well, when I was growing up and I had to go through whatever issues and all the other stuff that I had to go through, that's what teaches and builds character and make you into who you are today. We need to stop being damn helicopter people and trying to protect everybody from everything. You can't protect everybody from the entire world. Sometimes you got to go through stuff because that's part of your struggle, and that's part of what God wants you to learn in order for you to get to where you need to be. The other thing that I have is too, we talked about the borders.
Let's speak a little bit about that. You said
Go
that
ahead.
you
I'm
are
sorry.
part of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
I
means
am, I
what
am.
are you saying? Are you gay?
Yeah, I
Okay,
am.
all right, cool. And you are conservative. You said that you're voting for Trump.
I'm a gay conservative, and I don't see too many of us. I see some
Yeah.
of us, but there's not too many that's out there.
Okay, got it. And then you also use. I'm trying to just. I mean, you said a lot there, and some of the stuff that you said, I actually agree with.
Sorry about that.
And within that, you did mention some theology. You said God, right? Okay.
Yes.
What's your religious background?
Well, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I don't believe in this white Jesus that they tried to force down our throats for many, many years. I do believe that Jesus is not the white man that I see in churches that I used to question when I was little and was told not to ask questions. I believe Jesus Christ is king. I don't believe in Christianity because I believe that was that's a man-made word. I just believe that Jesus is king and Jesus is Christ, and you have to follow the Bible. Now, do I follow the Bible? And yes, the Bible does say about Sodom and Gomorrah and gay and all the other stuff, and you will burn and go to hell. But the way that I look at it is, every sin is sin. There is no sin greater than mine. And every person that gets on a pulpit and start to point their finger at me, what the hell is your damn sin? Your sin is not better than mine. So don't try to tell me what I'm going to do and all this other stuff without pointing that finger at yourself first.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's
you
just the
said
way I
no
was brought.
sin is all sin is equal.
Mhm.
I mean,
I
that
would,
doesn't make
well,
sense.
that's what I was taught.
Yeah. Well,
Why
that,
doesn't it?
yeah,
Educate
that
me.
doesn't make sense. That no sin is or like all sin is equal. And God even has different terms. Well, the Bible even has different terms that God used with certain sin. So like men that have sex with other men anally, that's called an abomination. Right. That's compared to animals having sex, right? So even in the Bible, God distinguishes the differences between certain sins. So now, when it comes to Judgment Day and stuff like that, that's totally different. You're going to be judged on the sins that you commit. I think the overall view of it is like, well, if I'm a liar, a lie is very, very bad, right? A lie doesn't just hurt yourself because then you can't trust your own judgment, but other people can't trust your judgment. So a lie is a sin, but you can't compare like a white lie, like a little lie to telling a lie to someone murdering someone. You know what I mean? You get it? And you also can't compare that to someone, a man and a man having anal sex, or a man having sex with a bear. Those are extremes.
Well, I heard what you are saying, and I respect that. And I'm not here to change your mind and all this stuff, just like you're not here to change mine. But my thing is the way that I was taught and what I've heard throughout the Bible. I'm not a theologian, and I don't know the Bible front and back and all the other type of stuff. Is that no sin is greater than the other? Because I can remember the story when Jesus said, "Let the first person without sin cast the first stone." When the whore that he saved from doing all the other stuff. So I'm like, well,
look at that story, right? Like that story is those were men. What happened was it was a whore, right? And then there was whore makers. So that's not two different sins. That's the same sin. Those are men having sex with a whore, right? Making her a whore. Mm-hmm. You get it? Like taking advantage of the opportunity to be lustful and have, and on all of these carnal desires of lust. And that's a whore partaking in all of her lustful desires to get some money. So one is wanting to get a nut off in lust. One is giving her body away for some change and also some lust as well in there. So that's the same sin is what I'm saying. So God says, don't cast the first stone because there's no difference here as far as you are both doing the same sin.
Well, okay, that's a different way of looking at it.
That is the way of looking at it. So, for example, let's say if this, you're gay, you're homosexual, And let's say if you point your finger at another homosexual, like what you're doing is a sin, but you're a homosexual, God is going to be like, why are you casting the first stone? You are sinning. You're doing the same sin, right? The difference is that let's say if I told a lie to someone, right? All lies are bad. But let's say if I told a lie, like, okay, I didn't, whatever the reason is, but I told a lie. But you're having anal sex with another man. That's totally different. I could be like, that's disgusting of what you're doing. That's immoral. That doesn't lead to any procreation or anything. That isn't natural. You can then say to me as well, lying isn't a good thing either, right? And then we can compare those two sins. Now you got one sin that has, like, think about lying. Lying it can be an immediate reaction, like immediate consequences that you can have. But then you can lie and maybe you don't feel consequences to years later, right? By just telling one lie. The other thing is you're having anal sex with another man. That's instant. Right? You've just indulged in some behavior that's unnatural and did something that's totally against life. Anal sex is death because it doesn't bring life.
And that's the same way, like when people jerk off too. That's unnatural. You're not supposed to do it. And I'm not like arguing on tit for tat for you. No, brother. I mean, I understand and I see where you're coming from.
That's a sin too, but that is still different.
But that's the thing. You say you believe it, and I get that, and I respect that. But I still believe that all these sins, they are sins because it also says all fall short of the glory of the God or Lord or something like that. You know what I'm trying to say? That whole verse there, right?
And I want to allow you to understand something, because people get this thing messed up, like where they say only God can judge and stuff like that. No, the reason why that saying is only God can judge is because God knows the heart of the man, of the person. Right. So if God knows the heart of the person, let's say you are a sinner currently, you indulge in homosexual sex. But let's say if at the time where God came back or the time of your deathbed, right, and you repented to God, you repented and asked God to forgive you for your sins. But you didn't do this like, oh, I'm about to die and, I want to try to get into heaven. Your heart actually changed. Right? Your heart actually changed, meaning that if you were going to be living, or let's just say not even on your deathbed, let's just say that you made a completely change with your life, that you had a miraculous change and you're no longer even attracted to another man. God is going to be like, I know his heart. So God is the only one that can judge. The difference is between God and humans is, guess what? We don't know your heart. We only know your actions. So the way we judge one another is going to be much different.
Correct. Well, no, I still don't agree with that.
What part don't you agree with?
I do agree. The part about, because if that's the case, anybody can go out and do something and say, oh, I repent, God, please forgive me, and really, really pray and try to get it off of them, whatever it is, a murderer.
That's not what I said. I said that.
Okay, well, maybe I took it the wrong way.
I'll repeat it real quick, and maybe I kind of ran on a little bit. I didn't make it concise. All I'm saying is the difference is that God knows our heart. So when you are right, someone can say anything like, God, please forgive me for my sins, I repent. They can say this, right? And we can observe it. Human beings, we can observe it like, oh, this nigga lying. We can't trust him. Like he was sinning his whole life. He just miraculously had a change. We don't know this, so we would call this person a liar, right? But God knows the heart. Right. So he can actually judge like, no, this person is truly repenting and changing his ways and changing his behaviors. I know that there's something happened within this person that he will no longer commit this sin. He fully changed his ways. And I think that is how God judges. That's what I'm saying. So God just doesn't judge based off our actions. God judges based off our heart.
I do agree with that. And that's where it kind of gets a little sticky situation, because we try to, I'm not going to say we, but I'm like certain people, like you said, men, we try to think we know somebody's heart when you really can't tell that. That's only between that person and God. And they can kind of, work that out. Because I say that all the time, like, whatever my sin is and the stuff that I'm going through, that's my walk and my journey with God. And that's my prayer life. And that's my things that I got to go to. So instead of someone else pointing and yelling and all that other stuff, instead of doing all that, what you can do is just go ahead and pray for me, and then pray for other folks, and also pray for yourself as well, and allow me to do my walk. Now, I do know, this is something else we can get into, and I hope I'm not taking too much of
No,
your
you're
time,
fine, man. You're good.
is that and I know, and something else that I spoke about the other day, I was talking to some friends. Sometimes there are certain demons that some people are very strong and they can fight off and get it taken care of. But then there's some demons that some people can't fight and they can't constantly win that battle, like alcoholism or whatever thing that has somebody going on. But when you get around a group of people that is your soul tribe or whatever other spiritual name you want to call it, that can kind of help you fight that, that can also help you along your journey, and or prayer warriors, or whatever you call those people in the church and that type of thing as well.
I get what you're saying.
So sorry for rambling.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. That is true. Most people they don't have hope, and they see that there's no way out. Question for you: do you have you believe in God and stuff like that, and you know that you are currently in sinning, and most human beings were sinning anyway, right? So I'm not casting any stones at you at all. I
understand that. I fully respect you. Go ahead.
Do you think that you have any hope of changing your ways?
Well, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I thought about this a long time. I'll be 50 years old in May of next year. And I thought about, why am I gay? Was it something that somebody touched me the wrong way, or did something happen like that? And all this other stuff. I'm to be completely honest in front of you and God and the entire world is watching. I've always known, always just had a feeling or something like that. It is what it is. And I thought that growing up in the country back in those days, it was like, he's a love, he's this or whatever. He just needs some, I don't know if we can say, can we curse up here? No?
You try to censor it as much as you can.
But the only thing he needs is a piece of blah, 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 blah. So
vagina.
I thought that the more,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I thought that, going through those phases, the more and more that I would have sex with this young lady that was, in my high school years when I was coming of age of having sex, that would actually take care of the problem. And no, it didn't. Maybe she was the wrong one. I don't know, but it didn't work. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. And I got to a point when I got 18 or 19, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. If I'm going to hell, everybody, all of y'all can go to hell. I'm like, I'm going to live my life and do what the hell I want to do. As long as I'm being respectful, loving my life, continuing to pray and walking my journey and not harming people and being a productive citizen to society, I don't give a fuck what you think about me or how you feel.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I mean, you answered my question. Your answer was pretty much you're hopeless. You don't have any hope of changing your ways. You think that this is something that you're going to have to just live with.
I wouldn't necessarily use the word hopeless, because maybe you can choose a different word.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want to not be gay?
At this particular moment in time, I would say no, not now, but maybe in the future. I don't know.
Okay, maybe in the future, you don't know.
And why would you ask that? Yeah, but why do you ask the question?
And thank you for asking me why I asked the question. And the reason why I asked the question is because the people get it confused. The devil doesn't want to, get you into sin. That's not the devil's job. The devil isn't trying to, get you into lust and get you into homosexuality and get you into all of these things. No, that's just human nature, because influence creates thinking and thinking creates behavior. So you can be influenced by a whole lot of things that could, that's made you have a liking to men. So I asked that question to let you know that the devil he's not trying to get you to sin. He's trying to get you into the state of despair. The state of despair is the state of hopelessness. The state of despair is the state of there's no way out. You are stuck. Because when you're in that state, you're not even thinking about asking God for forgiveness and repenting. You get it? If you're not in the state of despair and you're only in a lustful state, then yeah, you can actually come out of that. You can actually really say, God, I don't want to be this way. Please forgive me for my sins, and really repent. You can really see a way out. But when you are in the state of despair, which I think that you are, my dear friend, you are in the state of despair where you really, you don't see a way out. You said that you're 50 years old. So this is why I asked, and guess what, my brother? I don't want you to be in a state of despair.
What's up?
I don't want you to be in a state of despair. I want you to be in a state of there is a way out from this sin.
Once again, like I said, I respect you wholeheartedly, love your show and all that good stuff. But I think it's just we look at things and think about things differently. I don't think I'm in a state of despair or hopeless or anything like that. You asked me a question, am I ready and do I want to get rid of it now? And I'm gonna be very honest with you. Some people stand up and lie. No, I don't. And if I decide to do that, that would be something that I choose to do in the future. And I know my journey and I know my heart, and God knows my heart. And I can't sit here and open up and prove to you and show, oh, I did this and that. That's none of your business. That's between me and him.
And that's not what I'm asking. And because you asked me, I like the question that you asked, and you asked me that question. So I just wanted to give you my answer of the reason why I asked the question, because I wanted to see your state of mind. Right. And if you are in a state of mind where you don't want to change or you see no way to change, then that is a state of despair. You don't see a way out. You are in a state of hopelessness, meaning that you are comfortable, you're satisfied, and you like being gay, right? So if you are in that state, there is no, that's when the devil has you. Because you're not going to go to God to repent. What's the point of repenting where you like the state that you're in, right? So I'm saying that if you could find some hope, right? If you can see that the truthfulness of the actions that you are taking, where it is unnatural and it is a sin, like it's truly a sin. Like even when I tell a lie, I'll be honest. When I tell a lie, it's not good. I don't like it. Like, I feel like instantly, I feel like, I'm not hopeless. I'm not like, oh, I'm always lie. Like everyone lies, right? But the people's like, oh, I'm not going to always. The people that has the state of mind, like, I'm going to always tell lies. I can't stop telling lies. It's like, that's when the devil has you, because you're hopeless. And that's what the devil wants, to steal hope from you. That's when he has you.
Well, what was your first name
David.
again? David, I'm sorry. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I will say that I will think about that and I will ponder a little bit more about that, and that will be a part of my prayer life with God. And I thank you for asking me that, showing some concern, meaning that you wanted to pray and, do whatever you want to do, but I will still employ you to please do so.
Please do so what? I'm sorry?
Whatever it is that you were going to do if I said yes.
Oh, I mean, well, like if you said yes, that you weren't.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go into like a prayer or something. That's what I thought. And I'm like, if you're going to do that, then by all means, yes, go ahead, please.
This guy's.
I can use all the prayer I can get.
No, man, no prayer. I'll pray for you after stream for sure, man. I just don't. Okay. I truly and Billy, thank you for being open and coming on the stream. I mean, you said that. I mean, you've been gay for pretty much as long as you can know, and you're 50 years old. So you had the confidence to come up, and that's power there. That's good. But just think about what I said and maybe watch it back. Because that's truly when the devil has you, when you're in the state of despair, the state of hopelessness. When you're not in the state of hopelessness, that means that you do have a way out. Okay, man. Right. But good.
And you made a good point there. You did.
Yep, and thank you for listening, Billy. But good conversation, man. And you're conservative brother, definitely voting for Trump. So think
Trump
about that.
All the way,
there gotta
baby.
Be some hope there.
Trump. We cannot let that lady in office. God bless her and bless over her, but she's just not the one.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man. Peace.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, chat. So we are currently live on Facebook and YouTube. Let me go ahead and close down a Facebook stream. Anyone that wants to come up is going to be the first link in the YouTube description. Go ahead and click the first link if you want to join the live stream. Pretty chill stream today. Not really any debates, but I'm trying to get some people in here to debate. So come on up. And if you have any super chats, if you want to ask me any questions or want me to react to anything, you could send links to the email that's in the YouTube description. Or you could always send in a super chat and ask me any questions you want. Let me go ahead and close down a Facebook stream real quick. Actually, should have closed down a Facebook stream before we started talking about the LGBTQ stuff. Probably about to get banned. Who knows? All right, let's see. All right, everybody on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. That's No Fugazee Podcast on YouTube. We closing this out right now. All right, cool. All right, so we are only on YouTube. Let's see. Hold up. They said, I see the regular chat in here. Regular chat, y'all funny, man. All right, we got Daniel Bishop. I'll bring you on up, man. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast.
I never thought I could be here, bro.
You never thought. It's your lucky day, man. Talk to me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Wow.
Where you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up, man. You here to debate? What you here to speak about?
Well, I'm actually here to debate a little. Yeah, I'm actually here to debate because a lot of people, they don't understand the masculinity that you're talking about.
Okay, I think your connection not that good, man. You breaking up a whole lot.
A lot of people think it's a joke, but out of relationship.
Yo, Daniel, I'm gonna go ahead and put you back in the queue, man. You need to get some better Wi-Fi or go into a spot where you got better connection in Nigeria. But I'll bring you on up if you can get that change and we can have a discussion. Homie was robotic. Wi-Fi was big trash. Homie was on dial-up. Homie was on dial-up out there. All right, let's see. Where we at? All right, come on, chat. I'm waiting for y'all. And I can actually see that his Wi-Fi is trash too, because it's on yellow bars. All right, chat, come on up, man. It's debate night. So we got hundreds of people in here. I know some of y'all want to debate. Y'all all can't be supporters. Don't be scared, man. Click that first link and I'll bring you on up. Go ahead and click that link. If not, maybe I could react to some more content. Let's see. There was an interesting debate. There was an interesting debate with Yada and Anton Daniels. I know some people had hit me up to react to that. I guess I could bring that up real quick. Let me see. Hold up. Okay. Yeah, let's see if I could bring this. People sent me 2 clips of the debate. Let's see. Okay, we got. All right, we got some more people coming in here while I'm loading up these files that someone sent me in regards to the debate. Gonna bring some more people up. Let's see. What's going on, Malcolm? Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. Where you from?
I'm from Harlem, New York.
Harlem, New York. Okay, man. You here to debate?
Man, I agree with mostly everything that you got. You get what I'm saying? Damn near everything. So I just click the link. But I do have a question though.
For sure. What's up?
So I'm talking to this girl, right? But she's not like she doesn't really believe in Christianity like that. So
Okay.
and the stuff she says is just man, it drives me insane, man. Like
What is she? Is she atheist?
she's not she says she believes in God and then she tells me that she says being, G is natural and you could like it's a like she's I mean, I don't even know if I want to talk about it. I might even
Go ahead,
it's
man. Say it with your chest.
oh man,
You want
oh
to know
man.
Fugazi?
I so the one thing that took me off was you was talking about 9/11. And then she was telling me that 9/11 never happened. She's one of those conspiracy theories type of chicks. And that was the first warning sign. I was like, 9/11 never happened, but I never
Wait, like
said
it never happened? I
like she
mean, we know that
legitimately
it did
believes.
happen.
Like
It's different theories, and as far as
no, she
if was it an
believes that it
inside
never
job or
happened.
not.
She
Oh, so she
believes
think
that
that it never happened. Okay, all
she
right.
so that was red flag number one.
And what was that other ref? Like you said that she believed being gay is natural.
Yeah. She was like, yo, it's natural, this, that, and the third.
And let's get some context. This is a chick that. How long you been dealing with her for? Like this your girl?
It's just a joint that I talked to,
How long
but
you been talking to her for though?
like for 4 months.
You like her?
Uh I like but her
Her worldview.
yeah, worldview is just throwing me out of there because the natural thing I let that one slide. You get what I'm saying? But the thing that I didn't let slide, what I think was the last straw, was when she said you could go back from being the G word, and I told her like, yeah, I feel like
Oh,
me
you can
personally,
say
I feel
gay.
like yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't want to offend nobody, so I was like, I told her this is how I feel personally, and I think other guys feel the same. I was like, as a woman, you can't. You could go back to be straight, but I was like, as a guy, if you are doing things for a certain amount of time, like having oral and stuff up the butt and stuff like that. As a guy, you really can't go back.
Yeah. So I mean,
You know,
being gay is no one's born gay. Being gay is learned behavior. So
that's what I was
influence
telling
creates
her. So
thinking, thinking creates behavior, thinking creates behavior. So from how we perceive a gay person, humans, it's like, bro, you did some gay acts, you always gay. You're gonna die gay, right? Because we judge human beings by their actions, but God judges you by your heart. So a gay person that had desires of sleeping with other men, he's a man that has desires of sleeping with other men. Those desires, he could come to a state, and those desires can go away if he finds God, right? And truly submits. Now, through God, God can cure all type of, behaviors and desires and stuff like that. But even if God, like say if homie was gay for like 20 years, right? And then he found God and God truly, took away his gay desires, we all gonna still think he gay. That's why the saying is only God can judge. Because it's like God only know his heart. We don't know homie heart. We know what he was doing last year, not this year. So he gave forever to us.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what I'm saying? So like I'm kind of a hypocrite because I when it comes to women, I don't look at it that I'm like, okay, they could go back to that third. She's like, yo, why you don't judge the women like that? And she always gets at me like that. She's like, why you don't judge the women? I'm like, because it's a woman. Like, you get what I'm saying? But I'm like, as the guy, I feel as though
The difference is between men and women, women do bounce back much easier is because women are more malleable creatures, meaning that they're very susceptible. They could be influenced. If they think some way, you can influence them to think a totally different way, and it wouldn't be that hard. You get what I'm saying? Especially if she's young. But men, we're not like that. We're more like to it, sticking to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
program. It's hard to get us off, to actually change our behaviors or change our way of thinking. This is why there's not a lot of people that change from having Democrat views to Republican views, like more conservative, traditional views. There's maybe a few here and there may change, but there's rarely any true change to your ideologies and your worldview of life. But I'll tell you this, man, if this chick that you've been dealing with her for 4 months, and if she has these weird beliefs, two things happens, right? Well, I got two pieces of advice. The one thing is, you're a man. And if you are a masculine man, that woman will follow your lead. A masculine man, the chick could be an Eagles fan. But if you're a Cowboys fan, she's no longer an Eagles fan because she loves, admires, and respects you. So a female can fully get on your program. She's capable of it, right? If you are a true masculine man. But then there's some woman that has been programmed so much to the extent that they're not as malleable. They're not as able to be, convinced about another side of things. So with that being said, she may have these crazy views, but you still want to hold your ground and hold a strong masculine frame. And if you don't see that she's able to get on your program and fully follow your lead and submit to you, then yeah, she's no woman to deal with, because if she can't change her views about those topics that we're speaking about, she's not even going to really be able to submit to you. Like, that's a chick that when you come home, she's not really going to be cooking you food and all of that. Like, she going to be like, nigga, you cook your own plate. Like, obviously she got a feminist mindset, I would say, as well, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. She does everything but her ideology, and I think you're hitting it right. And yeah, and that's why I say it's been for 4 months, because like I do stand on my ground and I do tell her and I try to show her, like with certain things, instead of just telling her, I just show her. Like if she says, yo, this, that, and third, I look up on Chat GBT. I show her documents. I'm like, yo, you really believe this?
Homie
But
said Chat GPT.
yo, I'm using everything the level with her. And like, to be honest with you, if she wasn't black, I think I would have been cut off. So I got like a soft heart for black women. Just me growing up. My name's Malcolm, Malcolm X. My sister's Betty Shabazz. My mother, I was
Yeah.
born in Harlem. You get what I'm saying? So that's what's killing me. I be trying to,
Yeah, man,
and I'm starting
you
to
can't have no
realize.
soft heart, man, for any human beings, no matter
Mhm,
if race is involved. You
mhm,
don't date a woman based off of race. You don't have
mhm,
friends based off of race. You date and you have friends based off the context of the content of their character, like
mhm,
Martin Luther King said. So, with that being said, you have friends and you date women based off of values.
mhm.
If your values align, obviously her values don't align with yours.
Yeah,
If she thinks that, you know, being gay is fine and, kumbaya and all of that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Eh,
Obviously, she has more of a liberal type mindset. And
mhm.
I mean, if you're a more conservative, traditional man, in due time, y'all gonna bump heads, and she's not really gonna get on
Yeah,
your program. But if you
yeah.
see that she can
I
get on
get
your
what you just said.
program, if you can see that she can get on your program, then I mean, you'll be fine. You
Yeah,
could
yeah,
change, bro.
yeah.
You could change your chick.
Yeah. But I actually got actually got my little side piece. You got to go watch stream. Smile too. So
Listen,
I
dog.
was
See,
just
you
going.
got options, so don't even deal
Yeah,
with that chick. That was my next thing.
yeah, yeah,
If you're a man of options, don't waste your time on that like that.
yeah. I'm a most definitely cut off just from talking. I just needed that confirmation. I'm happy. Thank you for even picking up. You know what I'm saying? Because damn, I was going through it like for real, Fugazee. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, oh man, this woman's killing me. And
Yeah,
because
man.
what they don't understand to me is that when you have these ideologies, like this, everything else is good, but when you have these ideologies, I'm like, damn, if my son, you gonna tell my son this? Are you gonna tell my daughter this? Like, you get what I'm saying? And I got no, you get what I'm saying? But I just feel like I don't want nothing passed down. I don't want her to think it's like having some crazy, because the think 9/11 never happened, boy.
Yeah. Obviously, that sounds like a woman that's been programmed by society, by other men, by other past trauma. So it's going to be a lot of work to deprogram all of the things that she's been programmed on in order for her to follow your lead. So yeah, man, she recreational use only. Move on to the next. But yo, Malcolm, appreciate the call in, man. Have a blessed one, brother.
You too, brother. Salute.
Get some more callers in here. Okay, we got turn on your camera, Renato, and turn on your camera, Jack. We got A Lifestyle and we got Trey. I'm gonna bring y'all on up because I see y'all cameras is up. We got A Lifestyle. You came in first. Bring you on up. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name and where you from.
My name is Kyrie, aka A Lifestyle. I'm from the DMV, Maryland. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good, man. You hear
Excellent.
the debate?
Not really, but I kind of want to get your opinion on something. So it could possibly turn into a debate, but I'm not really strong on this stance right here. But I do want to get your opinion.
Okay, sure.
Because you're conservative, right?
I would say, yeah, I have more conservative values than I have, liberal
like that's
values.
how I feel about myself. But you want to know one interesting thing about like the election and everything? It seems like the Democrats, they kind of push for climate change, and I want to know your opinion on climate change.
Okay.
You think it's a real thing?
The Democrats push. I mean, of course, the climate changed. What? Probably 3 times today. So climate is always changing, right?
Oh,
so since climate is always changing, they just switched it up to climate change. First, the Democrats said global warming, but then researchers, did research and they said, well, the world isn't really warming up. It's actually getting colder.
Okay.
So then they say, well, it was warming and now it's getting colder. So let's just say climate change. Right.
Right.
Because if you remember back, even like, 10, 15 years ago, global warming was the thing. Oh, it's getting too hot. Like, and think about, this is why we always have these records of the hottest day. Like, oh, it's a record of the hottest day that they've, measured. But it isn't, they don't know if it's the world record of the hottest day for the lifetime the world has been here. No, it's only for when they started actually measuring, taking measurements and data of the degree. But global warming is not. I mean, climate change is really not what you're thinking. You got to look at, when we're looking at the Democrats and we're looking at politics in general, we have to look at what they prioritize, the things that they are prioritizing and where the money is going, because we pay taxes. Like I own property and stuff. I pay taxes, right? I'm being taxed a lot. So I want to look at where my money is going because I have an investment in this country, right? I'm invested in it. So with that being said, if they're saying like, well, climate change is something that's very important. It's like top of priority list, but really it's not going to affect us until like, for any major climate changes to happen until like 100 million years. But why is something that's 100 million years to really affect us at the top of the priority list? Is nonsensical. It's weird thinking.
What's the angle though? Like, what's the angle? I'm trying to see why they so pressed over the whole climate change thing.
I mean, there's many theories like, they allocate money over here to use it for other different things. Okay. So it's all about the priorities. If something is going to have an immediate effect, then that's something you want to prioritize. If something is going to have like, it's not affecting, humans, until, years down the line, 5,000 years down the line, or even more years than that, 100 million years down the line, should we really prioritize that? Should we really be sending money over there? Then not only that, what are you really going to do about climate change? Because they speak climate change, but they're not getting like, okay, you want to get rid of all, general emission type vehicles and stuff like that. Okay, all electric vehicles, cobalt. All them, then everything going to be cobalt unless you invent some type of new way where we can have these longevity batteries. And we already know where cobalt comes from, slave labor. We already know that it's even the emissions and stuff that these electric car companies put out is still polluting the world. So however you look at it, it's like, I mean, it's nonsensical. It's just a way to distract from the real agenda of whatever that agenda they have. We don't know. We can only speculate. But good question,
real
man.
Convincing though. They make it sound real convincing.
Yeah, they do make it sound real convincing. But any other questions, man?
Oh, you want to know? I want to get your opinion on something else, because through the algorithm, this is how I found you, kind of through the algorithm on like Facebook and everything like that. So I saw another clip of a dude. I thought he was you at first, but he got a beard like you. But I think he's on like a podcast. So I started checking out some of his content. I forgot the name of it. Like Tonight, it's called Tonight's. He got a beard just like you. You ever watch any of their content? Tonight's podcast or
Tonight's conversation. Yeah, I just did an episode. I did a whole, like almost a whole season with them about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it doesn't come out yet, so it'll be out in the future. No, it ain't out yet.
Okay. I want to know your opinion on like how they be speaking on there.
I've been on there. Yeah, I've been on there. So you'll see it, man. I don't
just wait until the episode come out then.
Wait until the episode come out, man, and you'll see a whole lot of it. But if you watch that type of content, they speak more from a Phil's perspective. I speak more of like statistical and analytical perspective. So that's one difference I think anyone can see. What differences do you see if you watch that content and you watch mine?
I don't know. In a way, I think because I was really the clip that popped up, because I haven't really watched too much of their things, but the other guy with the beard, he was kind of speaking on like relationship dynamics and everything like that. So it seemed like y'all approach was kind of different. In a way, it was the same, but in a way, it was kind of different. And I just want to know.
Well, how was it different? I don't know who you're speaking about.
I forget. It's kind of hard to explain because I can't really. I like to make quotes directly and everything like that. But the thing is, I guess I'm gonna kind of get my answer whenever I watch the episode and kind of see how you all interact and everything like that.
Yeah, you'll get your answer, man. Yeah, and I'm not sure when that's coming out, but it'll be out. I would say maybe a few weeks or a few months. Not sure how they operate.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But hey, look, man, I appreciate talking to you and everything. I'm a big fan of the show and everything. Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it, man. Have a blessed one.
Hey.
All right. Got some more callers. Gonna bring y'all on up. All right, we got Jack. We got God Motivates People. Gonna bring you on up too. Ron, go ahead and put your camera on. Actually, let me bring up Jack real quick because Ron, your camera not on. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name and where you from.
My name is Jack. I'm actually from Chicago, but I'm in Vegas by way of Chicago.
Okay, cool. What you here to debate?
Not necessarily, but I have got a little bit about where you're coming from, and for a little bit now, I like what you're talking about. But I got a couple questions for you that I would like you to answer, because just like a brother, I'm like, who is this guy? Get a chance to talk to that guy.
Okay. All right. So what questions you got?
So the last guy just said about climate change. Do you even believe climate change is real?
I think I kind of answered that. You didn't get my answer when you watched it?
No. I was actually setting up, and I was listening.
Yeah.
But do you believe? No. I can kind of recreate what you said. You said, yeah, climate change is happening, but do you believe climate change is the cause? So let me better direct that. Do you believe climate change is the cause of, let's just say, CO2 extraness and people farting too much and everybody playing and not living the best of their lives?
Oh, you mean like, horses and stuff like that, and farms that they produce a lot of.
yeah. So that's all. Excuse me, you did kind of answer that, but that's kind of what I'm asking. But thank you for helping me direct that better question.
I mean, believing. I said, yeah. I mean, the climate always changes. It's just about what what we are putting our money to and what we are prioritizing. I don't think that climate change, since it's always changing, how can we really put our money into something to really stop it from happening? It's not gonna, like, you know. And then not only that, it's like for us to see like some devastating effects from climate change, bro, it's predicted to be like millions of years from now. So it's like we're
I'm
looking
gauging
at
you a bit.
things that. Go ahead.
I said I'm gauging you a bit because
Sure.
that makes sense to me. But I'm not debating you at all. Not at this point. I may have a question at some point,
Gotcha. Real
particular
quick,
to you.
chat, real quick. Chat, get the likes up, man. I'm giving y'all this free content, man. Chilling. I'm leaning back today, too, in a chair, man. Go ahead and get the likes up. Don't be a ninja watcher. Like the podcast. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm gauging you because I want to get to a point where I do have a true, honest be with this guy. Pause. But I have an idea, a thought, premises. Make it quick. Let's get it out of there.
Yeah.
If we are living in between the ice age, isn't that just climate change? And there's nothing these cars could have done to change that, what the world is doing, assuming we believe it the way it's been projected to us.
Well, yeah, that too, man. Even when we look at, when they try to go back in time and look at history, I mean, the climate is always consistently changing, always changing, always changing. And then the climate also changes based off of where you are on the globe. Like,
that's
other
true too. So your story could be completely different, right?
It could be completely different. So
yeah,
it's like other places.
It was hot that year. It's like, nah, we was freezing.
We was freezing. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's a conversation that I look at it logically and I don't spend too much time on it.
Word.
The only time I spend on it is when people want to debate on it and say that, should we be allocating money into looking at ways where we can stop climate change or control it more? It's like, okay. And
that's a stretch. I know what you mean. Okay, you did. Crazy. Yeah. You did say that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, that is a bit of a stretch to say that we have enough information on that. So
for sure.
Then what I would ask then, you just more to get a little bit now I would like to more or less not debate you, but question, so get an understanding of where you come from and see where I'm coming from. So do you think you talk a lot about the Bible, do you think the prophecy has been fulfilled that Jesus is coming back here? Or now, I am not a religious person. I'm a very educated person.
Yeah.
I feel like bro, I've been looking for God. I know God now, and I've been there. I've just spent.
What's your question,
okay, my question is. Actually, let me ask you a better question first, because I'm not going to disrespect you. I've listened to you before. I know you're a man of faith. Do you believe that Jesus walked this earth presently? If this is not of me, my faith or belief, I'm asking you.
I do.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I do.
So do you believe Jesus walked on water physically as is the way it's described by his disciples?
If I believe that Jesus is the man of God, meaning the Spirit of God, and living in a fleshful body, then he's capable of doing miraculous things. So therefore, I would say yes.
I understand, and actually, I do agree. My question is, I've watched you enough. Well, I've seen the conversations enough to say that maybe you might understand where I'm coming from here. Is that, do you think you can walk on water, given you are the best form you can be or potentially be? Not saying you're that now.
No one's walking on water. No one's doing all that.
Oh, you see my question.
Only if, you're anointed by God. You know what I mean? If you're anointed by God, of course, I'm sure you could probably have some abilities, but these are questions that's like we can only
No,
speculate.
I'm talking to a brother here. I want to talk to a brother here. Like as if we were sitting here, not at a pub. I'm drinking a beer right now. If we were
No,
literally
I know,
sitting
no,
here,
no, and no, this is cool. But the point of why I said that is like, I can only speculate. You know what I mean? So there's not really, solid
so you're also
answers
a practical
for that
person
question.
and a realist. You're practical and realist, but a man of faith at the same time.
For sure, man.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And I think that the Bible tells you to be so. I mean,
Well, I
if you look,
believe Jesus' text said exactly that.
What'd you say?
I said I believe
Jesus' text says exactly that. Yeah, you want to be
It says exactly
a practical
that.
man and a realist man. You don't want to live in delusion land. So with that being said, only women are afforded the comfortability of living in la la land. Men aren't, because when we make a mistake, we feel the consequences instantly for the mistakes that we make. So therefore, in order
I would like to talk about that. I can get personal about that. And I could really, my spouse is in the other room, but you've spoken about it. But let me just get a second brain. I'm talking to Fugazee for the first time.
All right, cool. I'll leave you with one more question, man, because I want to get to some more callers. Okay, we got some people coming in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, that's fair. So actually, I don't even have it because I already got the answer. I just want to know if I and you understood each other. Actually, here's the question. As a man, at which point do you think that you're supposed to actually give a F what women think is the best way to what's the last few words? Become the situation. The way I see things is to say there's a web. You're looking at a web. A web is all these different parts. Every piece of the vertices are actual, let's say, pieces of film. So you can see what's happening in front of you. Once you become a man, you're like, wow, I made plenty bad decisions. Now I know what I'm seeing in front of me.
Okay. Ask your question directly so I can give you a direct answer. Like, just say it.
Okay. So that's the premise. So I feel like when women are talking, they say, figure it out and figure me out. That's everything and every piece of that web and every vertice that you can ever see. I'm asking you, do you think that's a realistic thing? And is that fair? And hey, is that be a man? Excuse my language. Be a man. That's what you got to deal with, because you can see the outlines of that off top if you have seen it before. Answer.
Yeah, I get your question. My bad. So I get your question.
Yeah.
So it's being a man is understanding the reality of the world and understanding that the world doesn't owe you understanding, right?
Yes.
The world doesn't owe you understanding. Absolutely. It's up to you to be perspicacious enough to understand the world around you. With that being said, and women are included into that, right? So women, women, they have this nature about them that they are afforded to live in la la land, right? Like men built this world to be so comfortable that they have the ability to be delusional. With that being said, men, like I told you before, we don't have that ability to be delusional, or we will feel consequences immediately. Women, they can be delusional because there's always
feel the consequences from you saying that. In some way, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude? Like you were telling me, like, bro, what are you doing? Yes, sir.
Jack, let me land my plane so it makes sense.
Word.
The other side of it is that women are afforded to be delusional because there's always another man or a simp that's going to save them. So to answer your question, you don't want to deal with a woman that's fully living in delusion land, right? And guess what? Women that have fathers or came from a nuclear family and has been guided, they're not as delusional. Because their father instills certain values into them to give them a perspective about the world. Most people have a perception. A perception is, it's everyone has it. It's unique to you. It's the way you view the world. A perspective is the art of viewing the world outside of you. So when a woman has a father and some masculine guidance, she's able to see the world outside of her just a little bit more. And it's not in a perverse way. Now, there's other women that's been damaged a whole lot, and they do have the ability to see the world outside of them, but it's in a perverse way where those women, they look at men as being predators and they look at those men as being evil, meaning that the only reason why they're looking at it that way is because it's in a perverse way. They've been through some trauma. Right.
Okay, throw in there what you're saying. I know you're about to get off. I'm not asking a real question. Throw in there that bear versus man idea that, hey, guess what? Nobody said that man was actually a perverse person in the bear versus man idea when you're throwing a woman out into the middle of nowhere.
What's your question? I know it's the bear versus man, but was that a question or a statement?
I'm saying throw that into what you're saying because you're
Jack,
like,
you had too many drinks, man. How many drinks you had, brother?
Stop, dog. Yo, no, I actually just cracked this and I'm up here on a Budweiser.
Don't put it in the camera. Don't put it in the camera.
Sorry, dog. Sorry, dog. No.
You good.
I want to talk quick,
Jack,
so I was talking
I'm gonna let
fast.
you go, man. I'm gonna get some more people in, but good convo, good questions, and we could do it again. All right, chat. Okay, here we go. So let's bring up, okay, we got Ron. I see you in here, Ron. Your camera's on now. Good. So here's the order. Since your camera just came on, Ron, we got God Motivates People. I'm going to bring you up. And then we got Style Dog 100. I see you came in here. I'm going to bring you up too. So don't go anywhere. Let's go ahead and bring up God Motivates People. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name and where you from.
God Motivates People. I'm out here in North Carolina.
Cool. You here to debate?
Yep.
All right. What you got for me?
So my thing is, I was trying to figure out, like, why do we focus more on the women that we don't want rather than the women that we do want? Because I've seen a few of your episodes, not a lot, but from what I can tell, it's always more or less like, I don't want these chicks either. And they also seem very delusional, and they're not really that smart either. They're very easy to get caught up on whatever word that they say. Like for instance, I think one of the last shows that I saw that you had, you was telling the story about how you was at the gym and basically you told the girl like ill or whatever about herself to get her attention so you can get her on the pod because you need some girls for the podcast.
Okay. If what's your point?
Right. My point is, I'm asking, like, why do you choose women that are easily delusional on the podcast rather than having actual women who can articulate themselves instead?
Yeah, it's not a choice. The podcast is open to the public when it comes to women. Any woman, they could come on and choose to be on. We have a recruiting team, 2 recruiters. We had 4 recruiters at one point, but now we're only doing 2. And if I'm out and about and we need some girls, it's like last minute for a show, but we need some girls to come on a show, I'll ask a girl myself, even if I'm out in public, like I gave that story that you just mentioned. And it was really, the story was to let guys know that you have to, it wasn't a story about recruiting. It was a story about being charismatic. That's pretty much what it was. But anyways, to answer your question, it isn't about getting girls that, you know, aren't articulate or doesn't have a degree or doesn't have any education. No, it's not like we see those girls and like, oh no, she's too smart, we don't want her on the show. No, that's silly. It's not even to the point where we see a girl, it's like, oh, she's too ugly and she's fat, or we don't want her on the show. So we don't discriminate. We're not only going after pretty girls. We're not only going after dumb girls. It's open to the public. So, you know, we had doctors and lawyers and surgeons on a podcast and, therapists on the podcast. We had all type of people. But then we also had OF girls and, you know, girls that's on a stripper pole. So, yeah.
I'll get you. All right, fair enough. Like I said, I haven't watched a lot of your content, just enough. But from what I see, I guess I wouldn't put you in the red pill space because I think you yourself even said that you wasn't really red pill. If that was, am I speaking it right? Like you're not a red pill content creator per se?
Well, when I look at red pill, the word derives from the Matrix movie. And the concept of taking the red pill was, do you want, when he gave the choice to Neo, you want to live in La La Land or do you want the truth? So I would consider myself of a person that's seeking truth. So from that context, I would say, yeah, I would be the person in the Matrix that would definitely take the red pill to get out the Matrix. In regards to the manosphere and red pill space, I mean, our for the main people and the majority of our ideologies and beliefs, because we're speaking about truth, it aligns, right? Red pill guys, we go with statistics and we go with biology and psychology. So it's hard to dispute some of the things that we say. This is why we're able to dismantle feminists. This is why we are able to dismantle these illogical arguments that simps put up and that women and that these, feminists put up, because we're speaking exactly what's true. So in that sense, I would say, I don't mind saying that I'm part of something, but it isn't really like a thing. It isn't like a group and we all speak. Like, no, I never spoke to Fresh and Fit. I never spoke to all these other podcasts. No, it's nothing like that. So am I part of something? No.
Okay, but like just in general, from just as a social media aspect, it always seems that when I'm watching podcasts or shows, it always kind of seems the same, like the statistic, the data, the rhetoric of women being delusional. It seems to be the same as far as women just aren't really that smart. So do you think that the majority of women are the type of women that come on your show? Or do you think that's just kind of happens from time to time?
Let me get your thoughts on that. You watch, real quick. The question would be on you. You watch some of my content. You watch some of the Red Pill content. And from what you've seen, right, you've probably watched, hundreds of girls or little even clips of many different women, right? Mm-hmm. And what did you see? Did you see those women, are they smart or are they kind of living in delusion land? What have you observed?
From what I'm seeing, they all living in delusional land. Like, it's crazy.
Got it. So leave that there, right? So don't let your eyes mistake you and your ears mistake you. If you are seeing something and most of the women that you're seeing on these podcasts are delusional, why it's okay to make an assertion to be like, well, are they only going after dumb delusional girls or are they trying to find smart girls? And if you ask any of the podcasts, we all have, listen, in order for the girl show to work, we have to book about 25 chicks in order to get like 4 to 6 girls to come up. So if we wanted, say if it's like, oh no, we don't want any smart chicks, then that means we would have to book like 100 to get a few chicks. Or if we say that we only want smart girls, we would have to book 500 chicks to get 3 to actually show up. So we don't even we're not even afforded the luxury to be picky when it comes to recruiting.
It just seems as though in actual life, like off the internet, women don't seem to act like that. At least the ones that I've come across, they're not as stupid, or maybe it could be they're just putting the game up or front.
Well, no, the thing is what this type of, these podcasts, what they present to the public is, the woman's mind and how they think. When you're on a date with a girl, you're not talking about this this type of content, red pill content, or, what's your body count and stuff like that. No, you're not speaking about these things on a date. Usually the guy is on a date to, be as charismatic as possible to, land a plane at the end of the night, in hopes of landing a plane at the end of the night. Or if not in hopes of landing a plane, of just having a good date and showing this girl a good experience. So you're not even looking to dive in to have deep conversations. It's all surface level conversations when you're out with the girl. But when you're on a podcast and you're speaking about certain topics, well, you're allowed the luxury to be a little bit more deep. And the differences between this type of content that gives women the truth and to other content creators that pander to women, well, those guys, they want to smash. If they don't want to smash the girls on the panel, they know it's being recorded, so they want to smash chicks that's not on the panel, right? Here, we not really looking to smash no chicks. No one's looking to smash girls. Now, I can't say about all these other podcasts, right? Possibly, but they're able to tell the truth to the girls because it's like, bro, I don't care about smashing, but guys that want to smash, they gonna lie.
Okay, for instance, you have brought up Anton Daniels and the Yada joint, and I saw some of that. And I'm only bringing that up because of what you just said.
I was gonna react to a clip of it. That's why I bring it up.
Yeah, I'm only saying it because like the dude Yada, if that's how you say his name, from what I heard from him, he kind of panders to women. But at the very same time, a guy like Yada would basically say the same thing about how you would portray. I'm not saying you was portraying him like that. Just that's my opinion on what he does. They could also say the same thing on how you're saying it. Basically saying like you bring women on and you basically manipulate them to go with the way that you're thinking, to give them all the statistics and this data, and you're trying to change the way that a woman actually reacts the same way how when men would say that, well, women are trying to change men, but don't you think that men are also trying to change women? If this is how they act, this is how they act, they're not going to change. So why try to make them, to get them to understand how a man is going to be when they just not going to change the same way how a man isn't going to change?
Yeah, so well, you got to look at it two ways. The one way is educational, so it's having conversations with people on a public platform when it's live. It's educational because especially when it's deep, even if it's not deep conversations, you can still get some type of information from it. The flip side of it is that it's entertainment as well, right? So there's no manipulation happening when you're speaking the truth. When you're telling lies, you're manipulating. When you're speaking the truth, there's no manipulation going on. Because when you're speaking the truth, normally, in order to even land the message properly, when speaking the truth, you have to start with the root. You got to start with the cause, right? When you're speaking lies and you're pandering a woman, you start with the effects. And anytime you start with the effects, you're manipulating. Anytime you go to the root, the cause, which is biology and psychology, then you're not manipulating at all. You're speaking the truth. Now, the facts is just that most people in general can't handle the truth, but especially women, they run from the truth. So what you've noticed and observed when you're watching these podcasts is exactly that, man. Is, men speaking to women and giving them the truth There's no such thing as my truth. There's only the truth.
All right, fair enough. I like this show. I ain't got nothing to say. I like to play devil's advocate. There's not really too much to debate with you about unless you really want to play devil's advocate, because a lot of things you say are very truthful. But that's it, man. I ain't got nothing else. I'm gonna sit back.
All right, brother.
The show.
Well, I appreciate the support, man, and good questions. Have a blessed one.
All right, then.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get on up. Who we got? Okay. Ron, camera's off. Okay. Okay. Welcome to No Fugazee podcast. State your name and where you from.
Yo, what's going on? Can you hear me? It's a sound check. Hey, what's going on?
I can hear you.
I seen your show. I see some clips come up, and I was laughing because you was really humbling a lot of these women out here. It reminded me of a lot of the things that I used to tell my brother and his friends when we were growing up, because at one point they kind of believed and put women on pedestals. And I said, never put a woman on the pedestal unless you're standing right next to her. So I would kind of invoke a lot of confidence in them to speak their minds and actually listen. If you're speaking to a woman and she never offends you, that's the first sign that you're a simp. If you're never offended by women, is a highly likely chance that you're a simp. But I wanted to touch on something that you mentioned earlier to just kind of play devil's advocate.
Okay, you said that real quick, you said that if you are never been offended by a woman, you are a simp. What's your definition of a simp?
Someone a male who acquiesces to everything, a woman's every emotion, even though it is irrational. For instance, I'll give you an example. I dated this woman who she went on a trip with her friends to Puerto Rico. And when she came back, she told me the story of how she abandoned her friends because they wouldn't listen to her. And
okay.
When she broke down the story, I said, well, yeah, you were kind of wrong for that. And she kind of tried to accost me for that because I didn't support her and tell her she was right in that situation.
So pander to the woman. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, right.
I got what you're saying. But then you said that if you're not offended, that word, it just didn't correlate with you're a simp. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't think real men are even offended by women. We understand women, so we're not offended. It's just like we understand. So when you understand something, you're in the. It's like you have no feelings really towards it. It's like, I understand it. I know exactly what's going on. So I'm going to move this way. But okay, fair enough. But what was your question, man?
Well, not so much a question as far as like you mentioned something about, homosexuality being learned behavior. So I wanted to ask you first, do you believe that heterosexuality is learned behavior as well? And then I can move on to my next my next angle of the conversation.
No,
Okay.
it isn't.
All right. So with that being said, I'm sure you understand like how, as far as like human biology and genetics go, as we add rungs to the ladder of our DNA as human beings and procreate through the world, mutations can happen. Do you believe that there can be a mutation in psychology of the human being?
There's not a gay gene. There's no such thing as a gay gene. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
a neurological mutation, not as far as genetics go, but a neurological mutation, as where someone is wired a bit differently.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Something.
Yeah. So there's no that's nonsense. That's nonsensical. So we are male and we are female. You are born who you are. Right? You are born a man, and that's good. You are born a man, that's a good thing. Well, you are born a boy, and you will grow into a man, and that's a good thing. You are born a girl, and you will grow into a woman, and that's a beautiful thing. So we are only our physical beings, right? So we are physical beings, and then we have consciousness, right? So consciousness, and we are also spiritual beings through that, right? So when you look at it, we are beings of free will. This body is only a shell. We can't control our cholesterol. We can't control our blood pressure regularly. We can't control anything about our bodies. The only thing we can control is our thoughts, right? So therefore, influence creates thinking, and thinking creates behavior. We only can control our thoughts. So our body it just is. So no one is born having thoughts. You got it? Thinking a certain way or having a different proclivity than what their body tells them. The first influence is our biology. Men, we have 17 times more testosterone than women. This is why we get turned on like a light switch. Women get turned on like a dial knob. Women are higher in estrogen and they are more neurotic. So that means that they feel more emotions and more negative emotions, right? So there's many biological differences between male and female, which our regular biology, what this tells a man is to have sex with a woman, right? It's like, okay, we want to procreate. We have a natural propensity, right? A natural propensity to procreate. The same thing with a woman. The woman needs a little bit more to procreate. She needs to be stimulated, right? Because women, they need to be moist down there, right? Even for them to have the thoughts of procreating. I'm saying it if they want that. I'm just giving from the biology standpoint, right?
Well, biologically,
men, we don't need to go through none of that.
Well, no, biologically, they have to ovulate, which releases which raises their estrogen levels to make them want to seek out male attention in order to ovulate. Their cheeks get rosy, their breasts get more firmer. Yep,
that all encompasses the biology for sure. But what I'm saying is the point that I'm making, and you're proving my point here, right? So the point that I'm making is there isn't any gay gene. There isn't any type of, evolution that happened that changed the chemicals within human beings today. No, there's been gay people in biblical times. There's always been gay people, right? So with that being said, we know that it's a choice. No one's born that way. It's a learned behavior.
All right. So what about this? Is schizophrenia a choice?
Schizophrenia, like actually being diagnosed with it?
Yeah,
which is like the full mental illness of it.
Full mental illness of schizophrenia. Is that a choice?
Well, that's different.
Or is that a mutation in neuroses?
Well, you gotta look at the differences. If you're speaking about an actual mental illness, meaning that the chemicals in the mind, and when you look at someone that has schizophrenia and you put their brain under, under diagnosis, you would see some differences in the chemicals within the brain, right? So they can say, oh, you're diagnosed with schizophrenia, like meaning that your thinking and your behaviors is all jacked up because the chemicals is messed up. When you put a gay person under a microscope, there's not like, oh, well, some chemicals and stuff is wrong. No, it's like, you nigga, this brain looks just like a regular a heterosexual brain. My nigga, you chose to be gay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about all of that. I don't know.
I mean, that is a fact.
Because so then there has to be some training that's involved, because I can't be turned on by a dude. Like I'm a heterosexual male, so there has to be something in their brain that neurologically connects to their sexual orientation that tells them that this is something that is attractive to them.
No, it's not, man.
Which, you don't think so?
No, man. Like think about it, bro.
Don't think so?
Let's think about it logically real quick. Right.
I'm saying it's a human. I'm trying to venture on to the fact that it's a possibility in a human population fail-safe.
Wait, fail-safe for what? What, man, bro?
For overpopulation. For overpopulation.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. It's a fail-safe in the human evolutionary response. A human.
I heard this theory
response.
Before.
Right.
Yo, it's a funny theory.
I'm sure you have. It's a funny theory, but at the same time, as far-fetched as it could sound, there can be some sort of, there's something there.
It ain't nothing there, man. Let's just have a logical conversation about it. Let's walk through it.
Okay.
Let's walk through it together. All right.
Let's walk through it.
All right. So we got 5 senses: seeing, touching, hearing, tasting, smelling. Right.
Okay.
We have our biology. So we got our biology, and then we have 5 senses. And then our biology is the biggest influence, right? Like, just think about it. Like with a man, men are more attracted to things. Women are more attracted to people. This is why women go into fields where they're, nurses and they're therapists and stuff like that. Men, we create things, engineers. We go into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, right? So we know that our biology has these natural tendencies, these natural proclivities to kind of push us in a direction, meaning that influence us to make certain choices, right? We also got we got biology, but then we got our 5 senses: seeing, touching, hearing, tasting, and smelling. These 5 senses absorbs, right? So the biology isn't absorbing anything. That's who we are. You are a boy, you will grow into a man. You are a girl, you will grow into a woman. The 5 senses absorbs data. It takes in data, takes in information, right? So it absorbs influences. And since we are human beings of free will, this is the time where it's choice, right? And this is also the reason why you need to block out negative influences. This is why conservatives are so upset with Disney, because it's like you're influencing the kids to see male on male kissing. This is bad. If the influence, if they see it, it can change their thinking. And if it can change their thinking, it can change their behavior. So we are male, we are female. The 5 senses absorbs information. And from there, we are human beings of free will, so we have choice, right? So then we get to choose sometimes we can't choose what influences us because our circumstances and our culture and what we're around, we don't choose that of what influences us. But we choose what we tend to dwell on, to think about, right? It's like, I'm going to put a lot of thought into this. And if you're putting a lot of thought into something, then that means that you are susceptible by that influence. Like, think about it. The serpent couldn't influence Adam. He wasn't susceptible to it. He couldn't, is impenetrable. Adam was impenetrable. But the serpent could influence Eve. So Eve was susceptible to the serpent's influence, but Adam was susceptible to Eve's influence. This is how the serpent got to Adam through Eve. Make sense? So when you're looking at it, even from biblical standpoint, through just a regular logical discussion, we know that no one is born gay. We know that people were influenced to think a certain way, then to behave a certain way as well. Make sense? I think I broke that down pretty good.
Biblically, yeah, it does make sense.
But even logically. But I gave the biblical example, but even logically, forget the Bible story. I could use so many other examples too.
Well, logically, snakes don't talk. Snakes don't influence human beings. Logically.
Okay, no. What I'm saying is, I'll give another example then, bro. I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, so a boy.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm saying if we're talking about logic, snakes don't speak. But I do understand what you're saying.
Know.
To get to the man, it's the best way to get to a man's influence is through the woman.
Okay, yeah, but don't stick on that point. Forget about that, because I see that you are still focused on a biblical analogy. Let's just use a regular example.
Okay.
People that's born in the projects in the hood, raised on Section 8, raised in at a single mother, they didn't have their father around. Well, I mean, statistics even show that this leads to gun violence,
higher incarceration
rates, juvenile delinquents, and all of these other things, right? Absolutely. So we already know if you put human beings in a certain environment, we know that some human beings is going to be susceptible to go down that wrong path, but other human beings aren't, right? I could use my own personal anecdotal experience. Like, I have brothers that they all did wild stuff. I really didn't do the wild stuff, but we all was raised in the same hood. You know what I'm saying? We see many examples of this, but only few make it out. Only few actually take the right path. Others is like they're a little bit more susceptible. They take the wrong path. So what I'm saying is, if you correlate this, influence creates thinking, thinking creates behavior. So we're speaking about people that's gay. It's learned behavior. They weren't born this way. They're born a male having a natural propensity to procreate with a woman. Everything else, if it swerves from there, they've just been influenced.
Right, absolutely. Which is, I seen like articles where they're showing like drag queens going to like first graders and like
first graders,
which to me it sounds insane. They're having pride days and schools are getting upset that, parents are pulling their children out of school during those days, which at the end of the day, as a parent, that's your right to what you want to subject your child to. So I completely agree with them for doing that. I also wanted to touch on something else as far as...
So do you still think that there's a gay gene and being gay is not a learned behavior?
No. I don't believe that there's a gay gene. I do believe that it is a choice that you make to orient yourself towards the same sex. Also, I haven't seen any studies where they've dissected...
Okay, man, so why you bring up the convo if you agree with me then?
Well, because I wanted to debate. We had a debate, right? And through debating, we find more clarity. Come on, bro.
This guy, man.
We find more clarity. If anybody...
Okay, so did I give you more clarity or no? Or you already had that clarity?
Well, here's the only part that I don't have the clarity on is dissecting a homosexual's brain to see if their neurons have, because of their if their brain is structured differently neurologically. Because as you know, as we learn things throughout life, your brain connects neurons in a certain way. So I feel like their brain has to be slightly different, because if they're choosing to be homosexual, then those neurons have to connect in a certain way for them to,
I get you. And I think where you're compartmentalizing a few things, because you brought up schizophrenia. So schizophrenia and these mental illnesses or even physical illnesses, these are things that are they're an exception to the rule, meaning that, people come out differently sometimes. People come out with one hand, people come out with no arms, people come out with autistic and all of these other type of things, right? So you can come out with let's say a disability, right? And that's what that is. That falls into that category. Physically or mentally, it falls into that category. Gay people, right? They don't fall into that category because it's just a choice. Like think about it. A behavior if you're going to tend to behave a certain way, that is a choice. You making all of these other right choices, but then it's like, well, I have an attraction for a man and I'm a man. Well, then, bro, you gay. That's a choice that you've made, right? It's just a choice. It isn't like it's a chemical imbalance. It isn't like you got more estrogen in your, in your blood or something like that. It's just a choice. Like, think about it. There's thugs that's gay. Think about it. Guys that go to jail, that spend 20 years in jail and stuff like that, some of them be coming out gay. Like they go in there straight, come back gay. That's how it is. They've been influenced.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in that situation, yeah, I can understand that. But obviously, for the sake of debating, I had to ask that question because, quite honestly, I wanted to see where you went with it and what other things might spring up on it.
Okay, but I know you had another question you was going to get to. What's up? And then we're going to get another caller in.
Yeah, sure. So hold on, because I actually wrote this down. Well, biology versus psychology, we harped on that, and then as far as women leading the world, and we have an election coming up right now, and I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on your idea of how a woman would lead the world, and what would the pitfalls, especially in an established government that there's so many other branches around them that are going to be male dominated. What are your thoughts on how, if we do have a female president, that would change the landscape of, number one, how women are going to treat men in the society, and number two, the kind of the general attitude of women in the workforce.
Okay, yeah. So you're saying that what's going to be the consequences of if Kamala Harris becomes president?
Copy. And yeah, interesting that you use the word consequence or the product being
the effects.
Or effects, right? The
effects, right? So one, I mean, you got to think about it. When Barack Obama became president, to black people, it was like, oh, such a big thing. Like, oh, our first black president, a black man actually, made it into the office. What did that do? Did that motivate black people? Did we start seeing black people do better and have this motivation, and they got out of the victim mindset and they took ownership for their lives? No. We've seen the complete opposite. If anything, we've seen more degenerate behavior, more like, oh, you can't say nothing to me, my president black. Think about it. Young Jeezy even made a song. My president is black. My Lambo is blue. Da, 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 da. Like, so it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're going to say that, so we got gender, and then we got race. Oh, Barack Obama, first black president, we could say, even though he's mixed, right? Which is totally fine. But it didn't really motivate people. It didn't get the black people out of the victim mindset. I would say that they view themselves even more as a victim. It wasn't like, oh, it's a black man as president? Wow, I can see myself as a president. No, it was still a lot of, BLM came out then, and they was still doing, burning down buildings and doing mad crazy things, and still viewed, the cop as the evil man. Right? And maybe some cops are, but not all. They're human beings just like us, just doing their job, doing their 9 to 5. So we didn't see a change in the black community. Okay. We seen, if anything, they indulge more into the victim mindset. So now if we look at it on the gender, we take gender. So Kamala Harris being a first woman president, what do I think that's going to happen? Well, it's going to be more women really viewing, like, you got to think about it now. These feminists, they already view men as being predators and men as being, oppressing us. They've already view it as a oppressor versus oppression type of standpoint. So when a woman does become president, I have, look back in history when it's about race. Same thing. I think these women is still going to think that, oh, men are really predators and they're really oppressing us and the patriarchy is really oppressing us. They're just going to double down on the nonsense. Like you don't get a different state of mind when something like that happens. Like that doesn't change your thinking. Like for current events to happen and things to happen that really doesn't change your mind. You have to want to change your mind. And I think those black people back then in a victim mindset, they stayed in the victim mindset because they didn't want to change their mind. They didn't want to see the other side. They didn't want to live in reality. I think the same thing with those type of women currently, if they're feminist and they believe that men are oppressing them, they're just going to double down on that.
Right. So, okay. Yeah, I understand that thought process. I guess my thought process.
What's your thought process? Yeah.
What that it like even Barack being president, it definitely motivated me to kind of seek out and do better as a black male in America. But I do
some people
that,
sure.
Yeah, I do believe that it'll affect the younger generations more than it'll affect the people who are currently, who are living out the current events that we are right now. So maybe in 20 years, there'll be more, African Americans in trying to dominate the political chairs. And if Kamala wins, there'll be more. I mean, with that one, I'm not exactly too sure. I haven't really thought that process out, but it's still up in the air for me. It's either I'm voting for somebody or I'm not voting at all. But it's nice to know your thoughts on that, and I appreciate you breaking down that line.
You're not voting for Trump?
You don't know? That to myself. It's either I'm voting for one person or I'm not voting at all, because it was kind of just thrown upon us right now.
Well, listen, you came on. What's your name again?
You can call me Sly.
Sly. I'll see if I can convince you. Live on air. Let's see. Okay. Let me ask you a few questions, then I'm gonna get to the next caller. But I got you on. You are an undecided voter. Let's see if I can convince you.
Undecided.
All right. Cool. I mean, do you believe in God?
I believe in God in my own interpretation of God. Yeah.
Okay.
Not to say I was raised Catholic.
Do you believe in any Abrahamic faiths or no?
I mean, if you want to go towards talking about like break down what I don't want to.
Abrahamic faiths, you got the Christian, Muslims, and Jews.
No, I was raised Catholic.
Catholic. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
There's two different groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before I ask you this, actually, I got a better question. We're going to speak about the ultimate form of evil and the ultimate form of good. Do you think that the ultimate form of good is encouraging life and sustaining life? If we're just looking at the root of things, let's take away ultimate, but would you say that good is
amplifying life, amplifying existence,
amplifying life, amplifying existence, amplifying purpose, right? And then the opposite of that, you would say that would be, bad, right?
The opposite of, well, if we're using this particular argument, yeah, logistically, the opposite of that would be devaluing all of those things.
Exactly. And you would view that as negative. You would view that as bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Negative,
so so promoting and encouraging life is good. And, disencouraging life and will be bad. So it's anti-life.
But wait. But even when you break it down like that, there's a lot of deviations within that.
There's a lot of nuance in it, for sure.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
But let's simplify it, right? So manipulation happens when you focus on the effects instead of going to the root. And I'm just trying to pull you all the way back to the root. I'm trying to make it very, very simple for you, right?
Right.
Got it. So, for example, if you're at a park, you're just chilling. If someone came up to you and they was encouraging life, they spoke life into your ears. They was encouraging life in your ears, meaning that family and children, they encouraged that. There was another person that came up and they did not encourage family and children, right? They encouraged everything else but family and children, right? So you got well, that's it, right? So you got one party that they encourage, let's just make it real simple. One party, one person, they encourage family and life, family, life, and children. The other party, they disencourage family life and children. Which person? Well, everything else
in the set. No, but like, so are they promoting selflessness? Are they promoting selfishness? Are they promoting? They're saying, oh,
yeah. If it's the opposite of family and life, is selfishness. That you got to think about it. So they're promoting everything else but that, right? So selfishness would be, well, you don't need to start a family. You don't need to have any kids. You are good, and you could do bad all by yourself. You can live at home with cats and dogs and do all of, and you are your own person. It's your truth, right? So whatever you want to do in this world, you can do that, right? So that's what the one person encourages. It's the opposite of family, children, and life, right? Because you're going to die. But if you leave a legacy, after you die, your kids live on. And after they die, their kids live on. And after they die, their kids live on. So one party promotes life. The other party promotes death. Like they don't care about any, it's the opposite. You get it? Let's stay there.
So the opposite would be like, oh, kill yourself. Suicide.
Not kill yourself, but it's whatever you want to do. It's the opposite of family and life. It's selfishness.
But if whatever I want to do, it can include family and life. That's what I'm saying. This example is a bit too, maybe it's a little too reductive. I would need something specific. It's like family. This person's, if someone came up to me and said, oh, listen, family, kids, and life. And then they say, on the other hand, you have robbing people, scamming, and murder. I'm not going to go rob, scam, and murder people. I'm going to choose family and life if those are my only two options.
Got it.
Yeah. So the opposite of family and life can't just be.
Let me just get to the point I was trying to. I mean, bro, the Democrats is anti-natalist.
Okay.
The Republicans are pro-natalist.
Yeah.
You got it. So that's the point that I'm making, right? Democrats anti-natalist. They do not encourage family and children. They don't, you know it, you know they don't. They promote LGBTQ. They don't promote the nuclear family. They promote do whatever you want, right? So there's what I'm speaking about. That's the root to it. The conservatives, the traditional people, they encourage family and children and life. So therefore, if we just look at those two things, is living or death, good or evil, which party are you going to go with? You're going to go with the party that promotes life? That's their baseline. That's their baseline of their epistemology and their beliefs is life. The other party is death, is not life. Everything, sexual liberation, LGBTQ. With the plus, that's pedos and all of this other type of stuff. It's the opposite of life. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you look at the root, forget about the effects. We know that you can say that one party, the conservatives, if you're an emotional type of man, you could say, well, they're racist, they're prejudiced. Well, okay, you could think about that all you want if you're an emotional type of man. That doesn't supersede life, though. You could be prejudiced all you want. I don't give a freak if someone thinks that I'm less than. That doesn't matter. That's not how I view myself. I view myself as a man. I view myself as more than. I have a victor mindset, not a victim mindset. So I think that most black people, in your standpoint, they're looking at it, well, these people over here used to oppress us. These people over here thinks that I'm below them. It don't even matter what those people think. Those people promote life over death. These people over here promote death. So who can we change their mind? Let's just say if the Republicans is totally racist, right? And these people are totally gay and they want to get rid of the world. I'm able to convince these people over these people because these people want to kill me. These people just don't like me.
Right. And they're open about it.
Think about it. These people just don't like me. They're prejudiced, but these people want death. They promote death. It's a very simple explanation and a way to go to. Vote Republican, freak Trump. You may not like the things that he say. Yeah. I don't even give a freak about the things that he say. I'm not no Trump supporter, but it's just if we're looking at parties, one promotes life, other one promotes death at the root of it. So we got to go with the one that promotes life. It's in your own epistemology. You just admitted that you would go with the one that promotes life.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not one of these. I'm not one of the the black people who just automatically believes that all black people should be Democrats simply because my parents were Democrats and immigrants and all this other stuff. Yeah. So I'm trust me. I'm taking what you're saying and I'm taking note to it. And within what you said, it brought up another question that I had, or just another topic that I wanted to discuss quickly Because I know you got to move on with.
We got Don. I get Don in here next. Yeah, go ahead, man. State this other point. So, I guess you wanted to make.
I know you were talking about them promoting the LBGTs and all this other stuff, and we're seeing a lot of these cases come up where these celebrities are really coming down, are getting nailed to the cross. Well, pardon the term, because of the pedophilia rings, trafficking, and all this other stuff like that. Now, with this whole thing where they want to have kids be able to put puberty blockers on at 14 and like before they go through puberty, and they say,
that's of the devil,
right? And you want to change. So now I want to ask you if you think that will lead, because they're saying, oh, these kids, they have the right to choose where they their pubescence orients itself. If that's the case, do you believe eventually they're going to start saying that it's going to lead to pedophilia being okay? Because they're going to say, hey, if you're a 14-year-old and you're attracted to a 25-year-old, that's going to be your choice now.
Well, a lot of things. Well, yeah. I mean, we can make a predictor, and we could say that, well, if you are a very tolerant person, and your ideologies is very tolerant, well, they're only tolerant to the things that they think is righteous in their mind, right? They're very intolerant of a whole lot of other things, though. They're only tolerant of their way of thinking, not anyone else's way of thinking, right? Now the thing is, okay, so if they are tolerant of LGBTQ already, the plus is it's anything else, any other sexual orientation. So the plus is already in there, bro. The plus means P-file. It's everything else. All other type age attraction. That's what that is in there. It's gonna be even animal attraction. Like it's the other thing is this. I forgot what they're called. They're in my daughter's school though. But there's people that want to be they don't want to change gender. They want to be an animal. I think they're called what is it called? Yeah, man. It's so in my daughter's school right now. I live in New Jersey. It's a freaking liberal state. I'm about to move soon. But I forgot what they called. I wrote it down. Is it called let's see real quick. It's like a weird word with a T.
Transmorphic or trans animals?
It's pretty much like that. So instead of being trans and they want to switch the gender, they're switching to animals. So in my daughter's school, she said it's literally it's like a group of these people, and they walk around on all fours, right? And they dress up as animals, like as cats and dogs and like wolves and stuff like that. So it's weird. So you got to think about that. If you are tolerant of certain things, then you're going Therians. There it is. Therians, yeah. So think about it, right? First, it started off with, okay, you gay. Barack Obama signed off, gay people can get married. God dang, Barack, you jacked up. Then it went to, you know what? Trans. Let's first they were drag queens at first, but then it was like, no, trans. Let's go ahead and, self-mutilate the kids and cut off their genitalia and give them puberty blockers and all of these things so we could try to change their gender, right? Make a male a female, right? Then it went into the whole P-file thing. Now it's going into the, what is it called? The Therians. Now we got, okay, well, if you feel like you're an animal, guess what? Katie, you can be. You get what I'm saying? It's like, first it was, if you feel like, hey, little Billy, if you feel like you're a girl, we'll call you Lauren. But now it's to the extreme where it's like, hey, little Billy, if you feel like you're a goat, you're a goat. So it's going to keep on getting worse and worse, bro.
I mean, well, if women's talking about they'd love to be, they'd love to meet a bear in the woods instead of a man, if you identify as a bear, then you good money.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's it.
If you identify as a bear, then you good money. You're going to be 8 and identifying as a bear, trapped in the woods with a bear.
Yo, throw it right in the cage with a bear then.
Facts. But listen, man, good convos, brother. I hope I convinced you a little bit to even think about, verting more, conservative. You know what I mean?
Not at
Don't
all. Not at all. But
not at all. God dang, man. God dang. God dang, man.
Nah, I'm
God
messing
dang.
with you, man. Yeah, I'm gonna make a concerted choice when the time in a few weeks. And that's I'll leave it at that, man. But yeah, appreciate the conversation. Thanks for having me on, man.
Fair
Appreciate it.
enough,
Keep
man.
up
Have a
the
blessed
good
one, bro.
work. Keep humbling everybody out there, brother.
Have a blessed one, man. All right, chat. Hey, if you got any questions, go ahead and send a super chat. I think we got someone in here, Crown Goddess. I think that's the name. I'm going to bring you up shortly. Let's go ahead and get to this. I think we got a super chat that came in. Let me go ahead and get to this real quick. Where did it go? Okay, let's X out of there. Well, I can't see the super chat. It was just there. Okay, probably see it like this. Okay, let's go to chat. Let's go to Fan Funny. Okay. All right, so we got Angel Griggs sends in $5. He says, people willingly expose the ignorance. They are too ashamed to even bring up their own dads. Major is feminine influence / indoctrination since birth. Appreciate the support, Angel Griggs. We got okay, so let me go ahead and get to let's go ahead and bring up another caller here. All right. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. State your name and where you from. Pittsburgh, PA in the building. Okay. What's up? You here to debate? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So are you a feminist? Well, let's see if you are. Let me ask you a few questions then. Okay. Well, first, you said seems like you got triggered. Well, maybe not to the extent of triggered, but it at least made you want to join a stream when you heard me speak about women in leadership roles. And pretty much I was speaking on a point where, well, women in leadership roles is not the best, right? That's what I think. I don't even think we should give them leadership roles at all. Not only that, I don't even think they truly even want leadership roles. Yeah, I think they've just been influenced the wrong way to want that role, where when they get certain roles, they don't have the emotional stability and emotional regulation to deal with the the ups and downs and the overwhelming feelings and I would say the pressure that being a leader gets. Make sense? Okay, cool. So you think that, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, any of the Abrahamic faiths. Fair enough. Okay. They ruled. Okay, so it was just like an all woman society, and you saying, and you said that they led without men. Got it. So who was their military? Was the military women? Oh, men and women in the military. Okay. And where are these? So if you're saying that, these were women-led nations, and I'm sorry, real quick, it's an echo every time I speak on your end. Can you have headphones? Yeah, this is a good discussion. I'm willing to, honor this discussion and we can go forward, but get your headphones figured out real quick, and I'm going to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to put you back in the queue. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to run to the bathroom. Cool. Chat, give me 2 seconds. Got to go to the bathroom. All right, chat. We back. Okay. Okay. Phil, I see you in here. Phil says, okay, couldn't hear her on YouTube. Start over convo, bro. We can't hear her on YouTube. Okay, then y'all couldn't hear her? Oh, she was frozen. Okay. Wait, let me see something. Okay, chat. So I guess y'all couldn't hear her. So we're going to go ahead and start that conversation all over. All right. So I guess that was good that I ran to the bathroom then real quick. All right. Let's see. Okay. Crown Goddess, can you speak? Yeah, it's an echo. Are you on your phone or a laptop? Okay, take the headphones out. I think it made it even worse. So this is what I'm going to do. Take out. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to disconnect the headphones and then also log out of this live stream And also, if you have anything playing in the background, if you have like the YouTube playing in the background, close down a YouTube and only click the link. So after you click that link, close down a YouTube. Well, I think it just got a little bit better there, but now it's a delay on your end. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put you back in the sideline. Go ahead and exit out and come back in. Cool. She'll come back in. All right, Phil, let me bring you on up, man. Phil, what's going on, man? Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. How are you? Okay. Okay. Got you. I think, are you frozen too? Let me see. I'm playing it back. Okay, yeah, you're frozen too. So the chat can't, they're only hearing me speak. They're not hearing no one else come up. So, okay, I think I know what I could do. Let me go ahead and get you out of here, and then I'm going to make some changes on my end. All right, chat. Sorry about that, man. We having some technical difficulties. I guess the people that's coming up, they're freezing. You can hear me, but you can't hear the people that's coming up. When I do bring them up, they're frozen. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and change something real quick. Switchboard is Gucci. Okay. Let's see here. You're 2.0. 1 second, chat. I got ya. Yeah, it's the woman that came up. It seems like she wanted to debate on one of the type of people that believe that the black woman is God. We'll probably get to that. So it's gonna be an interesting convo. She believed that women, led in the past and it was a good thing, and they should lead now. So we'll see what's up with her ideology. But let me go ahead and I'm going to put a new link actually in the chat. I see what happened. I see. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Let me make sure everything is still good on my end now. All right, she came back up. Let me see if it's going to be good. Okay, crown goddess. Speak for me. Let me see if I could hear you. Peace and blessings. Okay, I heard that. Let's see if the audience can hear you. One second. Speak a little bit more for me, actually, too, Crown Goddess. Let me make sure everything is still good on my end. I can hear you good. All right, she came back up. Let me see if it's going to be good. Okay, Crown Goddess. Nope, you still frozen. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I got this. So look, I'm going to go ahead and refresh my screen. I think if I do this, watch, I'm going to go ahead and go here, do this.